Greetings, revolutionary Ras Reports and ran with reason, supporting the struggle for international justice. Tonight's discussion is genetically modified organisms. What are they? What do you need to know about them? First of all, 95% of U.S. beets are genetically modified. 91% of U.S. soybeans. 71% of U.S. cotton. 68% of U.S. corn. And basically 70% of all foods in the supermarket. All these fast food restaurant chains, all these franchises, your Chili's, your Taco Bell, Wendy's, Burger King's, Popeyes, Applebee's, all those fast food chains contain food, sell food that's genetically modified. Places like Walmart sell food that's genetically modified. They sell food that has chemicals in them that have never been used on humans before, except in the last few decades. Now the first problem is this is dangerous to people. We've evolved from natural products of the environment, and that's how our bodies have evolved, so to speak. So to introduce these bioproducts from synthetic means is dangerous to a natural body. It can create diseases. It's been known to create diseases within kidneys, and if you look at the statistics, you'll see that there's more diseases today, more cancers, that nobody can tell anyone where they're coming from. So this, this might be a place you want to start. Number two is that they contaminate. These crops contaminate other crops around them, the organic farms around them. You have people in Mexico committing suicide because they're traditional farmers, traditional way of life, and these multinationals move in next door and their crops pollute and contaminate these farmers' crops, and it's all they know. And so it's a statement, they drink the poison that these multinationals like Monsanto, DuPont and Bayer produce, just to make a statement about why they're killing themselves. You know, an example of one devastation that was a result of this is the Irish potato famine, where it drove thousands of Irish people to Boston in the early 20th century because of the monoculture developed around that area of Ireland where people only producing one food. And this is the same situation where you have the farmers producing the same foods all over the world, but only the same foods in certain areas. You know, for instance, the Midwest might be the big, soybean or big corn area in one area. It's going to kill off that biodiversity that you need, and that the environment really thrives on. The third thing is that we're introducing now superbugs into the environment. An example of this is what can happen if you take too much antibiotics. Your body will become immune to it. And that bacteria, when it comes, those antibiotics won't be able to defend against that bacteria. So there has to be a balance, and you have to let your body naturally balance them out. It's the same thing with the agriculture. If you have all these pesticides being sprayed all the time, and all these crops, genetically modified to resist the bugs, they will, and they have been shown to already resist and begin to develop more bugs that weren't there before. You see it with the orange trees out here in Florida dying. And it will spread. It will spread to Brazil. Nobody will have any decent oranges anymore, and they'll make it so that they're the only game in town, the only one that can grow those crops. But for how long? The fourth thing is that we have our natural pollinators like the bees, the butterflies and bats that are dying as a result of these chemicals and these pesticides. And they claim that the genetically modified crops will eliminate the need for pesticides, but we're finding that there's actually more pesticides being used as a result of the genetically modified organisms.